Alright guys, I've got the feet pinned and we're going to start on this side. This is a straight, goes all the way down and around until the bottom. And then on this side we only sew between here and here and here and here because that is where you leave it open to stuff. Okay. So, make sure my thread where it's supposed to be. Alrighty, let's get started. Now, you should never sew over the pins, so make sure to take them out as you're sewing. And like for the curves right here, you just keep your needle down and then you can turn your fabric. Some people are good at guiding it with their hands. It depends on what kind of fabric it is, if I can do that. And guys, there's no need to race or rush through something. I'm reading to my... Okay, so make sure that you always, try to go slow on the curves. And I always sew over the fabric until it's going all the way through under the needle so that it comes off. Okay, now it's the other side. I do not have a needle down on my sewing machine. A lot of newer ones do. But so you should always put your needle down before you start to sew. And it's not a race, you just go the speed you want. Now here, because it's going to be open for stuffing, I'm going to back stitch and then last stitch and loosen my thread. And then going to do the other side, the bottom of that. I'm going to start from the middle of the arrow. Put your needle down. Go a little bit. And then back stitch. Secure that opening, and then you go all the way down. Alrighty. Okay, so that's 1 foot, and then we left this open for stuffing. So right now I'm going to pin the bottom of the foot on, and then we'll start recording again. Alrighty guys, so now I've got the bottom of the foot pinned, and we're going to sew. But to save time, I'm only going to do 1 foot on camera, and I'll do the other one off because otherwise this video might get really long. So here goes. And this has a lot of pins just because this fabric was kind of wonky. Remember, you don't have to go fast, just take your time. That way your stitches are nice. And if you see that the fabric's kind of rolled, see this fabric kind of rolls, you just kind of pull it and straighten it out. You want to make sure all the fabric is sewn and you don't have any holes in there. Now if it starts getting a little wonky on you, just kind of lift up, make sure your needle is down, and just lift up the fabric and kind of, tug at it and straighten it out. And then you can keep sewing. Remember never to sew over the needles, no, or the pins, because it can break your needle. Okay. And when you come to a seam, you should always sew the seams open. It keeps from the seam from being bulky, and it's easier on your sewing machine. It's easier to sew through. Hope you're able to see this. I hope my fingers are not in the way. Okay, this you'll go all the way around on this one because the stuffing hole is in the legs, so. Let's see. Alrighty. We're almost where we started. See, this fabric is kind of wonky. I don't know. Alrighty. That is the first foot. If you can see that. You can zoom out a little bit. We're going to flip the foot right side out. And then we're going to put this off to the side and leave it until we assemble. There's the bottom of the foot that we just that I just sewed. And this front always, this pattern has this weird gather in the front. The toe kind of points out. It's the only thing I really, really don't like about this pattern. And if I were to, you know, tweak it, but I've just never tweaked it. I just figured I'd leave it. It's fine, but it's the only thing that I really don't particularly like about the pattern. But I mean, they really come out really cute. So the foot's all sewn up, and so now we'll get started on the body. Okay, so now we're going to start sewing this tail so that we can sew the back of the bear. This pattern does not come with a tail. I, however, don't like stuffed animals that don't have tails. And so I made my own tail patterns I change them up, but oops, I didn't, oh no, I didn't, what you call this, didn't pin this, so let me rip the seam and we'll get back to starting in a second. Okay, now I fixed the ear and pinned it. Sorry if my fingers are blocking your view. Okay, there's the tail. And this we just flip right side out. I do stuff the tails usually a little bit, but I'm not sure. This one's kind of small, so I might not stuff it. It depends when we get to that point, what I feel like. Alrighty. So instead of doing the back of the